Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech and welcome back to my 30,000 rupee gaming PC build. Now last week I did a time-lapse video of this PC that I built. A lot of you guys had questions. Why did you use this? Why did you use that? Will this cause a bottleneck? Well, today let me try to answer all that and also show you how the PC actually games. If you do end up liking what you see in this video, please don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get to the gaming. So guys, let's start with the processor. I went with the i3 9100F. Now the reason I went with it, well, I could give you several reasons, but the main one, it's got to be pricing. The i5 9400F, it costs a lot more and hence it was out of the question. Now it's the same reason why I couldn't go with the third generation Ryzen as well, hence the 9100F. And it kind of fit perfectly. We get 4 physical cores, which means that most modern games should run without a hiccup. The high 4.2 GHz boost clock helps with gaming as well as single-threaded applications. In fact, we managed to get an average frame rate of about 95 FPS with the settings in GTA 5 cranked up to very high. You can of course push that up to over 120 easily if you tone down the population density as well as change things around a little bit with the graphics slider. In fact, what surprised me the most wasn't the frame rates but how smooth the game felt. Driving around in the car I didn't feel any lag spikes the frame rate was super smooth, it was super consistent even with loads of things happening on screen. I never felt a dip below 60. Well, the GPU plays a huge part here. With a title like GTA 5, the CPU could have been a bottleneck and the performance here shows that that's not the case. Next, for the motherboard, I went with one built around the B360M chipset. Now the reason for choosing the cheapest chipset of the lot is because the i3 is multiplier locked, which means we cannot overclock it. Therefore, buying a motherboard that supports overclocking, that's not going to be worth it, right? Here the Gigabyte B360M DS3H is ultra durable, hence I decided to go with it. Also, Gigabyte is sponsoring this build, hence I've used quite a few Gigabyte parts. If you find a much better deal on a different brand's B360, you can probably swap it out. Shouldn't be an issue. Overall though, I've usually had a good experience with Gigabyte boards in the past, hence my choice here. Anyway, we have 4 RAM slots as well as an M.2 slot, so there's plenty of room for expansion. Talking about RAM, I decided to go with a single 8GB stick from ADATA. The 8GB stick I went with here, it runs at 3000 MHz, but since the chipset here does not support memory overclocking and our processor supports a maximum of 2400 MHz, we have to run it at only 2400 MHz. And it kind of seems stupid to buy a 3000 MHz RAM stick when the max you can actually use is 2400, but when we actually shopped around, both of them cost the same. The 2400 and the 3000 MHz, they cost the same, so I ended up going with the 3000 MHz because maybe if I'm using it for a future build or something, if we get both at the same price, why not opt for the higher clock one. Now guys, if you find something cheaper, another stick of RAM that's 2400 MHz, that's 8 gigs, that's cheaper, go ahead, get that, swap it out, shouldn't be an issue. But this was the cheapest option I could come across. So I thought, why not go with it? Now talking about the future, I've only used one slot here, again because of the price constraints. I had some people ask me in the time-lapse video, why not go with 2 4GB sticks and get dual channel? Now I would have done that, I would have gone with 2 4GB sticks if it was as simple as 2 4GB sticks of RAM costing the same as one 8GB stick of RAM, but it does not work that same way. 2 4GB sticks of RAM cost a lot more than a single 8GB stick of RAM. So I decided to go with one 8GB stick of RAM for the time being and maybe add another 8GB stick in the future and then get dual channel. Hope that makes sense. And hey, this RAM with that silver heat spreader, it also looks pretty cool. As far as storage goes, we used a 240GB SSD. There's nothing special about this one. I always suggest booting off an SSD. And here we have support for M.2 as well as SATA SSDs on this motherboard. With a couple of big games like Tomb Raider, I'm sure you're gonna run out of space. So make sure you add an extra hard disk later on. But as of now, the SSD should keep your game load times really quick, the boot times quick. No matter what you do, it should feel snappy because it's running off the SSD. Now for the most expensive part of the build, the GPU, this is most crucial since it is the heart of a gaming build. Hence I went all out, at least as all out as the price would, the budget would let me, with NVIDIA GTX 1650 Super. It's priced well at around 12,000 rupees, and paired with the rest of our hardware, it can run almost all games including modern AAA games like Red Dead Redemption 2 at 1080p. Yes, with the detail levels cranked up, the gameplay isn't always a smooth 60 FPS. However, it still did end up hovering around the 30-40 FPS mark, and since this is a single player game, I consider above 30 FPS to be playable. Because hey, even the PlayStation Pro version, it plays at about 30 FPS, right? Now on top of that, the frame timings are pretty good, which means that the overall experience is very smooth. Amartya, who did the gaming tests here, he enjoyed playing through the first part of Red Dead Redemption 2 on this particular PC, and I have to admit, it managed to run things really well. This is a beautiful game. The Gigabyte GTX 1650 Super WinForce OC 4GB, it's a beautiful card, a beautiful budget card for 1080p gaming. Now moving on to power supply, we have a 450 watt PSU from Corsair here. Now in my past builds, I've gone with a VS450 quite a few times, and every time I've had someone or the other complain about it. But hey, here's the thing, I've personally been using this PSU for a long time, and some of those builds that you've seen here on C4 Retech, they're still running almost 24/7 with no issues. So this is the PSU we went with, and at under 2,500 rupees, it's a no-brainer. So for the final thing, the case, well, we splurged a little here and it made us run over the 30,000 rupee mark. But for that price, the Gigabyte C200 glass is an awesome case. It looks sleek with that full glass panel to the side and the RGB strip to the front. It's such a nice touch. And in keeping with the theme of future expandability, we have two expansion slots for 3.5-inch and 2.5-inch drives each. So this is a very well-rounded case and is well worth the 3,500 rupees asking price. But if you are on a tight budget, you may opt for a cheaper case and save some money there. So that's about it for this quick little video, and as you can see from all the frame rates as well as the gameplay, this is quite a capable gaming machine. With esport titles, you're gonna get really good frame rates above the 120 FPS mark for the most part. So if you wanna play Counter-Strike or Overwatch or even Fortnite, this is gonna be perfect. Of course, this build is aimed mainly at 1080p gaming, so it can even run older AAA titles like GTA 5 without stutters. Heck, even Rockstar's notoriously hard to run Red Dead Redemption 2 is playable at consistent frame rates here. So I guess that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed my 30k gaming PC build. If you have any questions or queries, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you guys. And that's pretty much it. Do you guys want to see more PC builds? If yes, let me know what's the next budget you want me to focus on. Do you want me to go with a Ryzen build or an Intel build? What GPU do you want me to go with? NVIDIA or AMD? Let me know what you want me to go with, and well, let's get that done. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on what you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.